war in Gaza has been continuing since the October 7th terror attack by Hamas. How can issues of security that we're discussing right now best be addressed in an environment that is lacking security and stability?
Thank you very much, and I'm very honored and humbled to be here today and amongst distinguished panelists. Yes, I come from an area that is plagued with insecurity and has endured a long time, several decades of insecurity, conflict, and occupation. Today, Gaza is the epic. I mean, if anyone looks at the case of Gaza, we will understand what the essence of insecurity means and what the essence of long-term insecurity without finding solutions to this insecurity, what would that result in? And we are seeing the devastation today like we have never seen before. It's impossible to talk about security vis-a-vis Israel-Palestine without speaking on the occupation. I mean, occupation is the biggest destabilizing factor of security, not only for Israel-Palestine, but for the region and probably for the world. If we want to speak on security, we need to derail this policy of territorial expansion by Israel. And territorial expansion by Israel has been clear. I mean, the world is clear about it, the international law is clear about it, and if we comply and go by international law, I think we can reach a stage where we can inject the security element. But as it is today, with this expansionist ideology, there will be absolutely no security in the Middle East, not for the Palestinians, not for the Israelis. And the first and foremost issue that we need to deal with is ending this occupation. Today, this genocidal war is the culmination of years and years of insecurities and violations of international law, of human rights, of the rights of people to self-determination. If today this issue is not taken further and dealt with once for all, we don't know when the time is appropriate. Today, now is the time. We cannot wait any longer, not for us as Palestinians, and I can also speak for the Israelis as well. There are many challenges in that regard. One of the most important challenges we need to deal with is the distrust on all sides. We have a distrust in the process of how the whole thing has been dealt with in the last 3 decades since we embarked on this political process on forging peace with Israel.
Minister Arabikian, if I may add a question. Since you're speaking about distrust, how about the other side? How about the security of the state of Israel when there is a majority of Palestinian leadership, or a significant share at least, still questioning the right of existence of the state of Israel?
Well, today the question that needs to be asked is the security of the Palestinians. Israel exists, and there's a lot of security on the Israeli side.
But the October 7th attacks proved wrong.
Yes, the October 7th attack, I don't want to go into the reasons of the October 7th attacks, but October 7th was violent. Yes, it was violence. It has a reason. But the counter-violence exercised by the state of Israel is way disproportional to the violence that was exercised on October 7th. Violence is denounced by any perpetrator, whether it's us, the Palestinians, or the Israelis. We need to stop that cycle of violence. If anyone thinks that what is happening in Gaza today will bring peace in the future, then that's very naive, because violence only begets violence. And having 50,000 people dead, 120,000 injured, and God knows how many more under the rubble, will not bring peace, neither to Israel nor the Palestinians. The military route is not a starter. We
Minister
need to
Arabikian,
sit around the table.
I'd like to bring in Minister Barrot at this point. Minister Barrot, you've recently